Hey, this is Dr. Riley from RBK Pediatrics. Today I'm going to present another case. It's a case of a 14-year-old guy that I had seen for his physical. And as the slide states, he had high cholesterol and high triglycerides, and he did such a good job. I just wanted everyone to be able to learn from him. So, like I said, he had come for a physical, and this is one of the reasons why we want people to come for a yearly physical. His BMI was 95th percentile, and he had a history of high triglycerides. And I had spoken to him, and it wasn't surprised. This is also another key thing is that even though we had discussed it before and they had not succeeded, you never know what's going to happen with someone when one day it just sort of clicks. So I spoke to him, and we gave some short counseling for his diet, and we made a plan that we were going to recheck his bloods. And this is what his bloods were. So, you can imagine I said to him, dude, your cholesterol's a little bit high, but your triglycerides are pretty high for a young man, right? 194. And your good cholesterol is no bueno. And your VLDL cholesterol is 39. And probably of all the things here, the VLDL is probably the one that I'm a little bit more worried for, because this is a sign that he has particles that are actually more likely to give him heart problems later in life. So yeah, so now today, or at that time, he was open to change, right? So what we discussed, what the kind of things that he could do, and he realized that he loves eggs and he liked soups, so he was going to start eating that for breakfast. This usually tends to have a very good effect because, remember, a lot of this kind of stuff happens because you're eating excessive carbohydrates, right? And especially when you eat some kind of protein with a carbohydrate, that seems to raise your insulin. And protein, fat, and carbohydrate raises your insulin the most. And all those things are actually going to give you issues for your health, right? But especially your triglycerides, if you're going to try to burn triglycerides, you want to be more in a fat burning mode as much as possible. So it's the kind of thing that he was able to do that. And we had on another blood test, which I didn't show you, we had checked to see what his omega-3 fats were, and they were fairly non-existent. So actually I called him back later and I said, you probably should eat some more fish. And unlike most people who, when I tell them to eat more fish, they make a ew sound. They were like, fine, we like fish. So started eating salmon and having tuna fish, which the guys that end up doing a good job, usually that's what they do. And we made a plan that we would check his bloods later, right? Now, certainly during the COVID, this is not as easy as it used to be. So we checked it 6 months later. And really the question is, what kind of change can you see in someone's life just 6 months after really not even too much of an intervention? And this is his blood. So you could see his cholesterol now is 163, solidly in a normal range. And you could see on his last one, his cholesterol was 183. And now his triglycerides are 92. And before they were 194. So this is spectacular. And his VLDL is basically like half. So this is great, and for those of you who are paying attention, you remember that I had said in the beginning that he was greater than 95th percentile for his weight, which usually is someone who's starting to become too heavy, right? BMI stands for body mass index, and that's usually a sign that someone is starting to get too heavy. And you could see this is his growth chart. So we had seen him, I think it was September 2nd here for his weight, and his weight was 188 pounds, which you can imagine his weight percentile was too high, and his BMI was 96 percentile actually. And yeah, that sets you up for almost every bad thing that adults get, right? And now, just a few months later, you could see that it's April 3rd. Now, he now weighs 165 pounds, and his weight percentile is now no longer pink. It's actually 94th percentile, which is still a little bit on the higher side. And his BMI has gone down a lot from 27 now to 24. and his BMI percentile is now 89th percentile. All of it is so much better. Now his life expectancy even increases. His chances of getting heart disease and other kinds of high blood pressure and other kinds of horrible things in life have all gone down. And all he did was make simple changes in his diet. He changed his breakfast, he changed his drinks, and he made an effort to try to eat more fish, which fish usually also has a salutary effect on a lot of your numbers because the omega-3 fatty acids tend to be fairly important for your triglycerides and things like that. And yeah, quick, right? This is why it's great to be a pediatrician, because yeah, his blood's, this is like what you expect to see when I start someone on a statin, right? Or some other kind of drug lowering. And to tell you the truth, probably much better than when you start someone on a medicine, right? So yeah, so the key is that he suddenly realized that he was not healthy, right? And that's the thing, is that if you want to be healthy, you've got to change, right? So if you have similar bloods and you want to have a success story like him, it may not come as easy. There may be more stuff that we have to talk to you, but it is the kind of thing, it is possible. It happens every day for us, right? But you have to be willing to make a change. You have to be able to see the future. You have to be able to try to see a healthier you, and then it will happen, right? You just have to be willing to do it. All right. So I love these inspirational stories about kids that get better, right? Usually when I see something like this, I just can't help but just like, good job, Dr. Riley, because it is a thing that back in the day, this was not something that usually we would do, right? We would send them to some kind of specialist, and and the kids would never get better, right? They would just age out, and then they would go on to be put on multiple medicines. And this is a guy now that hopefully he'll be able to live to be my age, and he'll be like me, on no medicines and healthy. All right. So I guess that's it for today. I'm going to be putting out more videos soon. Be on the lookout. And as always, if this was something that you think is important, then I would say please share it with other people, like and subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. I'll see you later.